Hey, what up guys? John from Mongo Fishing. So today's video is how to safely remove a hook from a gut hooked fish. I mean, it's gonna happen eventually. You're gonna gut hook fish, especially using soft plastics or something where you may not detect the bite right away. You know, bass picks it up, swims away with it, or swimming at you or whatever, and just swallowing this thing down. And so eventually it's gonna happen. There's a few ways to do it, and this is my personal opinion is the safest way to do it. And the reason this came up is last night I was filming a mystery tackle box slam video, and the very first fish I caught was a 3-pounder, and it gut hooked on one of the soft plastics. And so I tried to film it as best I could, unhooking that fish. I'll include a little bit of it in this video. Can't even see this hook. Slide the bait up. Okay, so I'm gonna reach that from in here. I am. All right, guys. So he swallowed this hook, right? So instead of killing him by messing up his guts, you cut the line and you work the hook out the other way. Okay. So I don't know if you can see that or not in there, but I've now turned the hook around, and now it's a matter of just working it out. The hook or the barb won't get stuck on anything. It's way safer for the fish. There we go. Hook is out. If you look, no blood, right? Healthy bass. But as you can see, not a single drop of blood was lost, and that fish swam away perfectly fine. So it does take a little bit of practice. I don't encourage you to go out and intentionally gut hook fish to practice this, but it's a great technique for those unfortunate situations where it does happen. So I'm going to use this sock to simulate the fish's stomach, guts, whatever, because the fabric will tear. You know, it'll grab onto a barb just like the fish's insides would. So that's what we're going to do. And then using an old Cinco to simulate the soft plastic, and then using this small red hook. It was not the hook I used yesterday, but I'm using this red hook so you guys can see it a little better. I think it'll stick out a little better than a black hook will. All right, so this is your fish. Used to be a white sock, now it's a pink sock because it got washed with some red clothes. All right, so your fish ends up biting your lure, right? Biting your worm, and I don't know, pushes it like that. Who knows? Who really cares how this is sitting? Okay. I just got to get this hooked on here so you can see without poking a hole in my finger. Okay, so we are hooked in this bass like that. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to get this worm up and away from the hook. Okay, so reach your fingers down on top, move it up off the hook, forget that worm. Just get it away from the hook. So now you have freed up a bunch of mouth space you can see down inside there. Next thing you want to do is you want to cut your line. Now, however far you cut your line is no big deal. It could be inside the mouth, it could be outside the mouth, doesn't really matter. You just got to cut the line. So now all you're dealing with is a little bit of tag end line and your hook. Okay, still hooked in the fish. Okay, so I got to stick my hand in here because, you know, a fish's mouth isn't going to give as easy as this sock does. So I have to use a little bit of tension to show you what I'm doing. But basically, you're coming from down top or up through the gill plates or whatever you got to do to get this part of the hook, the eyelet and the shank, twist it on the other side of this, because if you just go like this and try to undo the fish, the barb catches, end up ripping its guts out. That's not what you want. Instead, you want to kind of push it down through and work it around the other way. Okay? And so you may need to come up through the gill plates in order to do this. But all you're doing is you're trying to get this part through instead of the barb, because this won't catch, the barb will. Okay? So you just kind of got to get there, twist it around, work it, do whatever you got to do, pull it right on out. It's not really that hard. That is by far the safest alternative for a gut hooked fish. You still may have casualties. It's gonna happen. Fish die. You know, it is what it is. But you as the angler, especially if you're doing catch and release, you have to do your part to take care of the fish. There's no point in letting go of dead fish, right? Let go fish in the best condition they can possibly be in after you caught them. So I guess we'll show it one more time. I'm not going to bother retying everything. You already got that part. It's a matter of removing your soft plastic and cutting your line. Okay, you get your fish deep hooked. Okay, work the hook around, twist it, bend it. You know, you may need to use your fingers to push stuff. Do whatever you got to do to get this part. This is your hardest part. Get that up through that same hole that you were just at. Get it through, and then you got to get the eyelet. The eyelet can be a pain in the butt sometimes too. In fact, it's catching the sock because the sock is fabric. You cut a little thread. But that's it. Too easy, guys. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video and learned something, please give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below. How do you unhook gutfish? How do you unhook gutfish? How do you unhook gut hooked fish? Again, guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, get out in the water, be safe, and go stick some lips.